Miss with Being Creative with Miss, and I have a really fun project to do tonight. It is not super complicated, but it is super cute. So I am glad that you can join me. I am 10 minutes late. I feel like the story of my life. But I am determined not to let it fluster me tonight. I'm just not. I was starting to get all, and I'm like, just take a deep breath. It's okay. I couldn't get the PDF I couldn't get the link to transfer into the project sheet, and I was working on my laptop, and then I came up here, and our internet, we've been having trouble with it, but I just couldn't get it to work, and finally, and I'm just like, I am going to get this to work. I'm going to get this to work. So I did. I got it. So it is in the sheet, and the sheet is in Linktree. So there was a little snag there, and I thought it was right, and it was not coming up right, and I don't know why. So I was trying to fix it. So anyway, we are going to do a really fun little stencil project tonight. It is super cute. I'm going to make these for my show. And my sister doesn't know it yet, but you're going to be able to personalize them, and she's going to do it. That's my plan. So I can do it, and I will do it if I need to. But she is a beautiful hand letterer, and she's just over the top and everything. And that's what she does when she's there, is personalize her stuff. And so So I'm going to show it to you, and like I said, it is simple, but it's cute. So I'm going to show it to you, but this is not completely done because I have something special that we're going to do with it. So this might be backwards because is it? No, I think it's right. So this is Letter to Santa, and we are going to make this look like a distress envelope, and it is super duper easy. So we're going to take our board, hang on, we're going to take our board, which just starts out pretty plain. So our board, we're going to take it from this to this. It is so easy. We're not going to float. We're not going to do anything. So it's really, really fun. So if you love it, give me a heart, because it is super fun. So we're just going to stencil this. We're going to do this, but we're going to do something fun with the stamp. And then I think this would be cute. Like, I have different places where I decorate, just like on, like I have a Hoosier cabinet, and then I have another really old cabinet, and then I have on top of a cabinet, like, so I like to do displays. I think this will be super cute, kind of propped in there with some pine and stuff, and just Christmas stuff around it. I think it's going to be really, really cute. So, I left this corner up here, so you can kind of maneuver your greenery, like more this way, or you can put it more to the edge. You can I cut my board 12 inches long, so it's on your project sheet, but this is a 1x8, and I cut it 12 inches long. You could go a little bit longer, maybe make it a half an inch or an inch longer, and that would scoot your rope out, your jute out a little further, and give you a clearer, more open corner. But so my idea is, and I'm going to come back on and show you this. It'll either be tomorrow or Sunday, but I'll show you how to do it so you can do it. You can type out your name. So I'm just going to put Kunzelman up here. You could do an address and stuff, so you could do that, but if you don't want to do the whole address, like just the last name would be really cute. So I think that would be neat up here, just like it's a return name address. But I'm going to use mine like that. I also use stuff other places where if it's in a table area or somewhere where you can kind of see the back, I think it's fun to have something on the back. So I did the back. I just drew lines right there, and then used the express that's on the stencil and put it on the back. And I have something special for back here too. So it's just a really, really cute. So hang in there so you can see what we're going to do with it. But your stencil sheet has everything on it. And so anything underlined is clickable, and that should give you all your information. And that is the stencil. It is size small. And if you click on that, it'll take you right to it. But it is, like I said, simple, easy, but it is a really fun, quick project. So anyway, so we are going to have some fun with it. we'll get started. And I am going to show you how to make the edging look like this. And it's so fast and it's so easy. And I thought it was really, really fun to do. So I just base painted this oyster beige. You can use burlap. You can do it like a khaki tan if you want it darker. You can customize it. If you want a white envelope and you like things more stark or more white, you can do it that way. So those are all your options as far as of what you can do with it. I wanted mine to kind of look like just a little, I don't know if you call it vintage or a little aged, I guess. So that's what we're going to do. And to do that, we are going to use our, I always forget what these are called, blending brushes, and our gathered twig. You can also use like walnut or something like that, whatever you have. But a lot of you have the little gathered twigs that are this size, or you might have a bigger one, but I sell them that are this size. But there's also, you could use any color. If you're using white, you could use smoke. I don't forget all the colors that I have. That you could kind of, hickory smoke, like if you wanted to use the gray around the edges if you're going to do white. So you can definitely make that work. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to achieve that really quickly, and we're going to do the edges. And I just think it's so fun and so easy. But I think these would be fun, like I said, to personalize. You could even move this down and have your bow more down here and leave this whole corner open is also a really good option. On the stencil, the express is in the corner up here, but I used it on the back instead. So, of course, the back is optional, but it's always really fun to do something with the back and make it look really nice. So let me tilt you down, and it takes me a minute to get this right because I can't see what I'm going. Vintage photo was a great, Tracy. I need to get vintage photo. I like it. I used to not use it. I used it for a while, and then mine kind of, I don't know if it was just mine from age. It got to kind of looking orangey, and I got away from using it. So anyway, but this is it's just so simple. You could just lay it on there. I cut my board a tiny bit longer, but I also moved it down so I had more room here. Instead of centering it, I kind of moved it so my stamp was right there in the middle or right at the top, and I just kind of moved it down. So that's how I did that. But let's take our gathered twig and get to working on our board. So this is so fun to do because I just think it's fun. It's so simple. And sometimes we float and you do all that, and sometimes that can be frustrating, it's time consuming and all that. But this is not. This is really fun. So again, this is oyster beige, and so I just based it in that, and now I'm just going to use this blending brush, and I'm just going to swirl it around. So if you have a little one or a big one, either one will work fine. Now I'm going to get a paper towel, and I am going to kind of rub it off a little bit because I want to get it coated well, but I want to, I don't want it to be super duper, like strong at first. Hang on. I'll move my stuff around here. It's not all over the place. Okay, so I'm just going to simply make sure I'm in frame. I'm just going to start rubbing that along the edge, and you just kind of, I tend to have a heavy hand and it's still easy for me. So you just kind of go along that. Do not stress if you get it like darker in a place or something like that, because you can rub it down. But it's so fun. Like instantly that gives you that aged edge. Isn't that cool? So we'll just add a little bit more, and then go down the other side, and then we'll do the ends. It's so fun. And we'll keep, we'll do a little bit of layering on that till we get it, to get the look we're trying to achieve, I guess I should say. So you can kind of come down a little bit. And then just keep reloading as you need to do that. And at first, I'm just still trying to kind of wipe off because I just don't want it really super strong to begin with. But we will layer and get some stronger colors in there. Now, for the edge, you can zip right along this, and it really darkens that really quick. But I also thought that it would really be fun to either plaid the edge of this, or what I really thought, and I need to dig it out because I know the Stencil Smith has a stencil that has some candy cane type stripes, and I thought that would be cute to lay on there. That would be really cute for the edges. Or you could just hand stripe it and just kind of go, you know. But I would tend to end up with those stripes super cockeyed. So a stencil would make it really easy. But that's what you can do for the edges, because you wouldn't want to leave the edges just super stark. So I'm not really wiping off for this. I'm just loading it and just zipping it down through there. So just really fun way to add the edges without a lot of fuss. Can't do that upside down. Whoops, I forgot to wipe it off. So I'm kind of just pulling it. Like when we dry brush, a lot of times we'll hit it on the edge and kind of pull it down. And that's kind of what I'm doing down here. I keep reaching over me. I just love to mess with distressing and stuff. Or getting a distressed or vintage look. It's just fun. So I'm kind of pulling it. And some of them I'll pull out further. You know, like I want it kind of, I don't want it just to stop right at the edges. So I'm just kind of pulling it in. I'm going to turn it again. And now this time I'm going to pull those in a little bit. In toward the center. Okay, so now I'm just going to give that a little quick set there. So I'm not taking it back off. And then you can kind of look at it and you can go darken anywhere you need, but we're going to darken it again anyway on top of that layer. Okay. I'm going to raise this up a little bit. I know I just moved that everywhere, but I'm trying to make sure I stay in frame. I might have just got it all whopper jawed, but so now that I have that basic, now I just showed, I think I made it worse, didn't I? So now I'm just going to go along and give it another once over. So this time I'm not going to really wipe this off. I'm going to kind of just put it on as it is, not unless I feel like it's too much. But I'm going to kind of just layer over that, kind of pull it a little more, because you definitely just don't want just the one color. So I always like it darker on that corner, so you're going to kind of start there and then come down over what we already did. And you really can't, I don't think you can mess it up, because it all ends up just blending really nicely by the time you stencil, and then, you know, you spatter, and that cures everything anyway. So it all just ends up looking really good. So I want to darken that edge a little bit and pull it. And you want a few streaks in there. So, do you like that? You think that looks neat? I saw someone said, Tracy, she said spread the honey. Don't forget to spread the honey. That helps when you share it. Okay. Okay, now we're going to kind of go in a little bit on this side. And then we're going to pick up, I didn't put this on your sheet because I forgot. I just put the gathered twig, which you could leave it like this and be totally fine. So it kind of looks like a parchment envelope. So you could leave it like that and be totally fine. You can also, you can always white back any if you feel like if you wanted to make the center a little more white or something, like if you felt like you got it in there, it'll pick it back up and you can kind of wisp it. But by the time you get it all done, it really is fine. I don't stress over that. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little walnut stain. You could use any other just go a little bit darker, and I'm going to use a smaller brush. And I'm just going to kind of use it more on the edging. Or on the edges, I said edging. Just kind of a little bit darker here and there. But it's really fun. Really, really fun. So, again, you control how dark or how light that you want it. So if you don't, of course, if you don't like it grungy, you're probably not going to do this anyway. But, you know, it can just, I guess, be made to your liking. All right, I think we're good. So we will start stenciling, and it is super quick. Like, we don't have that much to stencil. It is just a really, really quick, good project. So like there I had a line, just go back and smudge it. Like, don't be scared of it. Just kind of go smudge it. And then after, you know, like after you've used it some, you're going to have a whole lot of that rubbed off. And that's where you can kind of go in more to the inside. And if you have some lines or something, you can kind of do that to blend it in. You just kind of have to look at it. But once again, don't just be so concentrated on like a different streak or line, because literally when you get it stenciled, it will be fine. It'll be fine. So isn't that fun? It's just like a really fun and easy way to do that. Do you like that? I think it's really cool. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in my basket. These came from Hobby Lobby, but on the general printable sheet, I have some linked in Amazon that are really good too, and I have those right over here, but I can't reach them. But these are the ones from Hobby Lobby. Michael's has them too. I think you can get those anywhere. So let's lay down our stencil and get busy on this. So I am, like I said, going to pull this down. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I should have went landscape mode in my camera, so that would have been helpful. But I'm going to pull this. I'm going to match this up to the bottom, but I'm going to definitely pull it down a little bit. Make sure I have it straight. Okay, so I'm just going to tape it over here. So we're going to do, I just used red and green and black. Like, we don't have very many colors for this at all. You can naturally switch it up any way you want. You can use any colors. You could, use just black and red. But this is what I chose to use. And this evergreen, I believe, is partly dried up. So I'm just getting that out. I'm trying to find my other black. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so we just have black, white, green. Oh, I already put white out. I put it out again. And our old standby Tuscan red. Now, I also did not put this on the sheet because this is just something I do sometimes. I used to use deep burgundy a lot with it too, but sometimes I like to mix that heritage brick in with my red if I'm trying to darken it a little bit. But that is personal preference. I don't think I'm going to stand up and try to do this. I'm going to try to do it so I keep it in frame. Is that in frame to you? I found my stencil brushes when I came up here, laying here, that I forgot to go wash yesterday. I hate when I do that. Okay, so we are going to use a 3/8 will work fine. So we're going to use that, and I'm just going to go in. First of all, I'm going to cover up some places that I don't want stenciled. Make sure I don't want to get over in that area, and I don't think I would get in that, but you never know. On anything that's super close, I get kind of wild with my stuff. So I am just going to go in the red, Tuscan red, and I'm going to take a little bit of heritage brick in there too, and it just darkens that red up a little bit. It just helps it, I think, to cover a little bit better. Excuse me. So we are going to work that off and make sure that that we don't have too much paint. Okay. So then I'm just going to start and I just kind of hold it down as I go, but I'm just going to start swirling around until we get it filled in. Now, if you don't want to personalize it and you just want to use that express in the corner and you don't want to use it on the back or don't feel like it's necessary on the back, or you could use it, both places, make it your own, like make it how you prefer. I just thought it was fun to use on the back, and I feel like at craft shows and stuff, I feel like so much of the time people, for me, this is my opinion, turn it over. It's like they look at it and they hold it and they kind of turn it around. And so you know that I have always been a big advocate for finishing the back so I can make it look finished. Some people do not think that's necessary. They feel like they sell the daylights out of their stuff and it doesn't affect their sales, which is terrific. But for me, I don't know that it would affect my sales maybe. I guess it's just, I want it to look finished and polished, and I just like that. So I always think it's fun to do something cute on the back if I can. So I like to do that on ornaments, and I just think that's fun. So I really thought it was fun to kind of dress up the back of this and make it really look like an envelope. So that's why I chose to do that. And I don't know if I wiped that brush off that good. I was on a rampage about doing the backs. Not a rampage, but I was on my soapbox about it, I guess. And I really don't remember if I wiped that off well. I hope I did, but I don't know. Who knows? But if we have a bleed, we can definitely fix it. Okay, so we're going to go over this again, just to kind of darken the red. Okay, and we'll let that dry. And then I always like to go back where my bridges are. So I always say that, like, I like to do them a little bit darker, so then I feel like it's easier to hide it when I fill them in. I just think it helps. This one's got quite a few bridges, but they fill in really quick. Okay, so now I'm just going to go, I'm going to put just a teeny bit of black in that, and then back in the red. And kind of wipe that off again. Whoops, I didn't mean, I got my stencil brush in that, and I did not mean to. Hold on. So I just want some darker red in there, and I'm going to kind of swirl, or not swirl, swipe, and kind of stay into the left edge of the letter. I'm going to go back over here and pick some up. I'm not going to go back into the paint. And just go right down the edges again. And it just kind of darkens some places and gives it a little bit of variation. Okay, so let's make sure that dry. Red, it can be funny. It can, I want to make sure it's dry because I don't think it can, I don't know, it can pick up and turn pink on you and stuff like that. So I'm just going to make sure before I get my dry brush that it is good and dry. Okay, so I'm going to get in white. Better get a clean paper towel. And let me look over here. Oops. Let me look over here and see. Yep, same Nancy and Mary. Nancy Taylor. They are linked on your project sheet. If you have never tried their brushes, try them. Like, I have tried so many different ones, and some that I thought I loved, but their brushes almost have, I don't know how to explain it. I always try to explain it, but I don't want to say soft, but yet they are soft. Soft but firm, but they are amazing. I do not think you will be disappointed. I think you will love them. So on the project sheet, they are linked right here. I base painted them with the base painter brush, and it is fantastic. It is a good investment. It really coats them fast. It saves me so much time. Okay. Let me go back to, so I'm just getting some white in this, wiping it off, and then I'm just going to kind of follow this with the stencil on there. I'm just going to kind of follow, you know, the curves of the lettering. And after I bridge it, I'll have to come back and like bridge over those, or kind of swipe over those places. But for right now, I'm going to do this. But that's why I wanted to make sure it was really dry, because red can turn pink on you easily. But I just need to I just like to dry brush it and get a few little paint scuffs on there and stuff. Okay, so now let's move on to the green. So I'm going to use, I think I'll just use a 1/4 inch for the evergreen. So I'm going to go into that and just clean it off. Now, you can always, with green, you can always go into black and darken it a little bit. And sometimes it just saves you from like having to do as many layers, because sometimes it can be, you have to keep going over it to get it to look really dark or however you want it. So that's I like to do that with green sometime. I hope I have that wiped off enough. But again, you could do this with black. Oh, I think I better move that. You could do the lettering in black as well. Or you could even change it and do Santa Claus in green and this in red, the Candy Cane Lane. You could certainly do that. That would be cute. I always think of Santa Claus more as red, but then down here it says Candy Cane Lane, which I even thought about if my envelope was darker, kind of doing a white to red, like if my envelope was really dark tan, but I didn't end up doing that. But I was trying to think of different ways to do it. But I love the simplicity of this, and it's just, I mean, it's not a lot of layers, it's not a lot of colors. So I have several of these cut and base painted, so I can just, you know, go through and batch paint some of them, and I think it'll go really quick. And I think I might have just swirled that right out underneath the stencil. I don't know. I hope I didn't, but so let me take a look-see. I think it's dark enough. I wanted to make sure I got oops. Sorry, I know my head just hit the camera. I wanted to make sure it was showing up enough. Okay, so then up here we're going to do the black. So, let me get a baby wipe. I'm going to put that in a baby wipe just in case. Well, no, not just in case. I know I'll need it again because I'm going to use it on the Express. So, we will definitely be using it again. So I'm going to use the 1/4 inch again, and this time I'm going in the black. Now, I wanted my postmark to look pretty scant, but I also sanded over my places on it because I wanted the distressing to look overall distressed, not just like just on the edges. So, so I did not want this to look dark, because you know, like when you get a letter, a lot of times it looks very it's usually light with some darker places in it, and some places you can't even see it. I mean, you know, like it'll be so scant. So I definitely wanted it to look like that. Oh, I forgot my 2. Now, I am doing all this black. Of course, you could always do like the December 25th, a different color if you wanted, but I think it just goes good black, like in with the rest of the postmark. It's so far away from me, I can't really see if I'm getting it all or not. Okay, I might have got that one too heavy. I may have to sand that off a little bit. So let's go back and get the green again. A little bit of black, and we're almost done. So up here it says 2. I did not do that part, so we will swirl that in there. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. So cool, isn't that so cool? I love it. Okay, so now the not so fun part, which I won't do at all because, you know, that's, I'm sure, not very fun for you to sit and watch. But we definitely need to fill in our bridges. So I am going to take this and, of course, this one is so scant. That was the other thing I was getting ready to say. I cannot see good tonight. That was my other problem right before I went live. I got something in my contact I can't see, and I don't know what it was. I kept blinking and blinking, and I couldn't get it out. I finally took it out. And then I matted my eyelashes together. I'm like, Missy, you are like just nutty. Okay, so see how that easy that was to fill in those bridges. Okay, so then with the green, you'll come down and fill those in. And like I said, I'm not going to do them all, but I wish I could because I like to show it to you completed, but also I know it's the pits to just sit and watch me fill bridges. We need to get to the fun stuff. But it doesn't, sometimes you might feel like it takes, like, oh, it's just another step. It is another step, but I think it's important. But also, like, sometimes I'll think, oh, you know, I hate to have to take the time to do that. But literally, sometimes if I time myself, like, I'll just kind of glance at my watch. And it literally will take maybe 4 minutes or something like that. Like, it doesn't take it very long a lot of times. But the difference is worth it, you know, like so worth it. I was trying to at least get one line done. Oh gosh, there's not even, I was going to try to get this line done so I could show you like sanding over it, but and I wasn't going to do the North Pole, but actually there's only a couple places in the North Pole that need it. But it goes pretty quickly. All right. So you would just continue on down there, but that's how it, you know, goes, fills in pretty quick. So I'm going to get a little more heritage because I'll probably need a bit of that. So I'm going to fill in just a few places on the Santa so you can see. So I'm just going to kind of go up there. And I usually have to go back over it again because it looks a little bit transparent at first. But we'll do the S. And then I'll show you, like I just take the little dry brush and go back over it to kind of blend it all and make it look like the rest of it. I love the font on this, the pretty script. Okay. So does anyone have any questions that I have missed or that I need to address? I keep meaning to look over there and I have not hardly looked. Let me look right now. In the process of buying a new vis. Oh, Beth. I just see where Beth was talking about the brush cleaner. That is really nice from Stencil Smith. It comes in a tub, and my first one lasted a long time. So it is really nice. It really does a good job. And it kind of conditions them. I like them a lot. Okay, so I can go back and fix this. But we're going to go with this right now. So you see how I filled the S in. So with that same dry brush, and let me see what I did with the other one. Here's a little one of it. You can just go back. This is a littler one. And the dry brushes, yeah, they're linked on there too. If you're new and you haven't used them, I love these dry brushes, and they do so well with the project. Okay, so where I had those bridges, and it won't show because this is kind of light, but you can just, lost my paper towel. So you can just kind of, where you bridge that, just kind of do a little swipe over it, because you've done that on the other lettering anyway, but it really kind of just, it blends it seamlessly and kind of makes it match the rest of your lettering, and it ends up looking really pretty. So you would just continue that down through there, and then you would have that all done. So you need to make sure, don't forget your 2 to bridge that as well. So it is really pretty script. It is just, I just think it looks really pretty. Okay, so then on the back, this is what I did, which you need to do the edges on the back, and you don't have to do it as, I should have done this ahead of time, and I didn't really think to do that, but you don't have to give as much caution to the back, or, you know, like, don't have to be, not that I was super fussy on the front, but you can just do it, I think, a little quicker on the back side, just to give it some color. So this is what I'm calling the back side of my envelope. And I'm just scooting this along. Like I said, I'm not being near as cautious or careful. I like how you can pick up that ink and just hit it on the edge. I love that, and just give it a dark edge. You can go back on the front and do that after your other layers are dry. See how quick that... I didn't get the back of this sanded good. I got my saw marks in there. Okay. And let's put a little bit of dark on that. I'm going to pull the other way to get the edge. Okay. So you get the idea of how that can just be a little quicker. Okay, so this is all I did. And I'm sure, like, you could do it way more like precise, I'm sure, but I literally, like, you probably should use a ruler. I keep one in my basket all the time, and I took it out and took it to my desk the other day, so now it's not in there. So I just pretended like this is the middle. I just kind of pretended. Okay, so you can take the edge of your stencil or another piece of wood or whatever you want, but I took it from this corner. Let me get that out of the way. Make sure I'm in frame there. So I just am going to take it from this corner to that dot that I am pretending like is the middle. I hope it is. I'm I'm trying to look over here. Okay. I was trying to look over here and see if I've actually got it in frame. Because I think I was out. Okay, so this is a 1. So I am just going to take this and go right down and go to that dot. And it's kind of a scant line. It's not, I'm not doing it really solid. Okay. And then I'm going to go from that dot to this corner of my end line. I hope I'm in frame again. And is it going to be perfect? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. So that gives us the back of our envelope. Just really simple. And then take that little guy, the littlest blending brush, rub it on there. Before I do that, I am going to set that, make sure that ink is set. I end up getting paint on that. Okay. So I am going to just kind of rub that off, and then I'm just going to kind of scoot that along either side of that, kind of just accenting that line is all I'm trying to do. Super cute. Okay, and then we will put Express back here. Isn't that cute? Do you like it? Give me a heart if you like that. Okay, so that is the back of our envelope. So I think we're done with our distressing. So now we need this. I'm gonna put it, let's see. I think I got my other one not centered. So I'm gonna try to do a little better with that. And this black tape, I think I put that on your list. Is that Santa's Summer Workshop? I don't know, but I hadn't used, the other kind I had was blue, and this one's a little bit different. I really like it. Okay. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to tape that line because I'm going to do it green, and then I'm going to, oh, that stupid stink bug flying around in here again. It gets warm up here in the afternoon, and I always get them at my window in here. Hate it. Okay, so now we're going to do the red real quick. I will not bridge it or anything. I won't do that. Take your time. So again, you're just loading, offloading, and you could do this opposite. I thought the red would be good. Like Express kind of always shows to me, like urgency, Express, whatever. So I hope I have that wiped up enough. So now, maybe I will take these off so I can do the green stripes. So it's really quick to do the Express on the back, but it looks really cute. So let's put that in there, press that down, and get our green stencil. So I just keep my stencil brushes over here in a baby wipe so they stay moist. and not, they don't dry out. Okay, so now let's do the green. Get a little bit of black in there. So do you think you would personalize this? Do you think that is what you would do, or do you think you would just leave it blank? What is your thoughts on that? I thought the personalization would be cute, but if you don't like doing that kind of thing, you definitely, just don't give them that option. They won't even think about it. So isn't that cute? It's so cute. So then this is where, oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to show you this on the front. So I like it to look, like I said, you want it to look really I wanted it to look distressed. So I took sandpaper, so this is 220, and I just took it and kind of scratched along. So you kind of wear off some of those places. And I think it kind of makes it really look like a printed, you know how that looks, like kind of printed and scant. And then I also did it a little bit on, I haven't done the bridges down here yet, but I kind of went along this. I did not mess in the green and the red a lot. And sometimes you can mess in red, and even if you sand it, you can get a little bit of pink from it. But if you see just that little bit, I'll continue down there, but how it will just take a little bit off in places, and it just adds to the vintage look of it. So you can take a little bit of red off, but I'm always careful with red. So see, I took a little bit off. It seems to be doing okay. But do that as much as you want, as faint as you want it to look. So, yeah, Irene, it's on the, I think I put it on your sheet. So go to Linktree and download your sheet, and it's right there on it. And then that's your link to your stencil. And I also put the snowflake stencil in there because I wondered, I thought of this. I got a mark on there. Sorry, I got a mark on there for some reason. I wondered what you would think of like the snowflake stencil. Like, should I put real scant, maybe some snowflakes on it to dress it up a little bit, or would you just leave it as it is? Do you think it's good how it is, or would you add snowflakes? Like, what is your opinion on that? I had my snowflake sheet laying here. I think I dropped it. I'm not sure what I did with it. I just had it. Anyway, I had thought, like, tell me what you think that would look like. I just thought maybe a few, like, real scant snowflakes would be cute. So, but anyway, that's the sanding on that. And then the other thing that really, really finishes it off is the spattering. So, when you spatter it, see how that just makes it, kind of brings it all together. And I haven't, because I don't have all this joined, I don't really want to spatter it yet until I get that done. But the spattering looks so nice. But isn't the edges look really cool after that dries and kind of sets? Isn't that neat? I think it looks neat, the edges. I think snowflakes would be cute too. Some people said leave it as it is. I don't know. Like, I would not do very many. And I would want it, like I said, to be very scant. Like maybe one here, just, I don't know. But I like the back. So this is where I switched it up. So the stencil has a stamp on it, and you can stencil it right there in the corner, and it's fine. But this is what I did. If you don't want to do that, or you just, like, I'm going to do several of these, and I want them to kind of have some variety to them. So if you like that, and you would like them to do them different, I did a printable sheet for you, and it has 12 different stamps on it that you can cut out. And you could do it on cardstock. I did mine on canvas because I wanted it to have that thicker look to it, that it kind of stood up off of the wood. I did it on the smooth side. I didn't do it on the textured side. And then I also made some wax seals. So I thought that would be really fun to put on the back here. So like on this one, we could use the tree or the Santa, either one. But so I'm just going to come in and cut that out. But I thought that would be really fun to do. So I haven't cut one out. I cut one out in paper yesterday, but I haven't actually cut one out of canvas to see how it looks. So you don't even have to be super neat as you cut around that, because you just kind of swirl around it. If you come in a little bit, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I thought this would really be fun. I was going to say, where's my glue? But it'll probably be, I haven't used it in a bit, so it's probably going to be a little bit glued shut there. So I'll do it this way. But I thought this would be really fun to do this. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to get enough glue on there, and then I got it over my fingers, because why not? Okay, so I thought that would be fun. Got glue up there. So just put a little sealing wax on the flap and put it down. But it stands up enough that it's super cute. The spatter is just black. I just added some black. And sometimes I add a little bit of espresso in it if I want it to look a little more brown. So just like a little bit of black and a little bit of brown. So that is the back of it. Isn't that so cute? I think it's so cute. I just think that is really fun. And then on the front, you can pick, whatever stamp that you want. So there's all kinds if you wanted something classic. Now, I will say this. Pick out your stamp that you think you're going to use, and then kind of match your red. So that's more of an orangey red, and some of them are a darker red. So just kind of make sure you pay attention to that. So I kind of put a darker red and a brighter red. So I thought this was fun. So I like the gingerbread, and then of course you have a gingerbread wax stamp to match that. And this little elf I think is cute. It says North Pole Toy Company. But definitely fun. So we could use this North Pole. This says North Pole Express. I love the little mouse too. I don't know if I want to use the Santa Claus or no, I use Santa on the back. So, I don't know what I want to use with this one. I probably would need a little bit brighter red with that one. I like that stamp too, but I don't know. So I tried to make all of them have when I first made them, I had them all jagged edged, and I'm like, that'll be a nightmare to cut off. Or cut out. So I put a color, a straight edge on them, so that wouldn't be so bad. But I don't know. I had way too much fun doing these. Now, to kind of go with this, I like to we'll go back in and take our we're using the daylights out of our distressing stuff. So I'm going to put a little bit on that and then wipe it off. And then I'm just going to swirl around. A little darker in the corners. And if you're not comfortable with doing this yet, you can always, like I said, you can load it and then offload it. And then that helps it go on a little bit lighter. And then you can just build on that. If you're afraid you're just going to get like a big dark spot or something. But it's really fun to use. So I'm going to come back and darken it a little bit in each corner. So it's a little bit darker. Because I want it to look vintage like my envelope. And then you can just stick the stamp right in the corner and excuse me, you can just glue that on there, and you can, you know, do different ones with different stamps. I'm sorry. So I thought that was really fun. And then of course, on your edge, I like this. This is I love, you can get the candy stripe ribbon. Not candy stripe. What is that? Just red and white stripe. What is that called? It's called something. And I can't think of it. But this is, I always pick this up at Michael's, and they usually always have it left over after Christmas. So it's jute, but it is, you know, the Christmas twine. So it's red and in white, but it's not a true white. It is an off-white, and I love that. And the red isn't a bright red, so I love it because it matches stuff. So I usually always go in to check and see if they have it, because they usually do. And at ours, it's usually like at the end of the aisle on like a little end cap place. I've gotten it there different times, and I just like it. I like the way it looks. I haven't glued my stamp yet. I just laid it there. Do you like the idea of the stamp? Do you think that's fun? I think it's fun. But again, the spattering. I shouldn't have glued that down because I haven't spattered it, but I'll just cover it up when I spatter. And I'll glue this one down after I spatter. But we can add a stamp to this one. Like, what would you add to this one? What do you think is fun to do for that? The snowman's really cute. I love this old truck too. I think that's cute. I don't know. I'm trying to see if my reds went there. I like the candy cane too. I don't know. But they're really fun. So I just thought it really just made this a fun way to kind of switch it up, I guess. And whoops, I missed the edge on that. Oops. I should use a bigger pair of scissors cutting this big of a straight edge, and I didn't. I wanted these little ones to cut my wax seal, and then I just ripped into this. And so I should have made a reindeer back here. I did do one snowflake, kind of more like that, but I'll probably use the tree on the back of this one. But anyway, I will do the same with that, you know, like I'll go around and kind of antique that a bit as well. Do you have a favorite, like, that you think you would pick, which you probably don't know? You probably don't. They're just, there's a lot. I try to do a different variety just to kind of fit everyone's needs, but also, you know, if you're doing them for a show or a booth or something like that, it's fun to have several different ones. So I think think I might have got that a little bit dark, so I'm just going to take my baby wipe and rub some of it off because it comes off really easy until it sets. But there's that one, and then I think I'll put the tree seal on the back. But on this, if you choose to put it on the end, I think I cut off enough for 6 of them. So I just put it on there and wrapped it, and basically just do it the same way that we've done. You know, we wrap our blocks and all that. It's the same concept. But I think I cut this one about 3 times too long. And then you can kind of maneuver it down your board or up, whatever, after you get it on there. I said I had it too long, and then I keep coming up short on this one side. So after you do that, just wrap it a couple times, and you can use what I did was I used some pine sprigs and this red ribbon. I get it from Hobby Lobby, but I think it's, yeah, Hobby Lobby. I think it's behind the cutting counter. But again, this is kind of white, so this is another trick that I did to mine, and I do this stuff all the time. You've seen me do it. You know that I do all kinds of stuff to ribbon. And so we'll get this back out, and I just zip it right down my ribbon, and it turns that ribbon, it makes a little more vintage, and it takes the white off of it. So you can tell this side is really white and this side is not. So it makes it look like it matches. So you don't have like a stark white when you're trying to do something that looks kind of vintage. So you can I even did it on my jute on my other one. I have like it's not jute, like a burlappy looking ribbon. You can hit it in places if you need to. If you have the baker's twine, I could not think what that was called. If you have the baker's twine, you can even lay it down and just zip your little brush up and down it, and it'll, if it's white, it will take, you know, that stark look off of it, and it'll fix that in a hurry, and then it will match. So, so you can lay like some burlap and some red, and then I used pine, and then I used like pine cones, and a bell. I did that, and I just thought it looked cute. Oh, I know what I remembered to get, or I know what else I used, was I took some of this Stencil, whatever it is, and I even thought it looked, I really liked it on mine, but I kept thinking it looked kind of bright. So you can trim that up a tad, but I did the same thing. You guys are probably like, good night, you've used that to death tonight, and I have. It's just fun to do that. But it definitely darkens it and kind of ages it a little bit. So you can just rub it on there, and that fixes that. So I actually get that back apart and cut this big long line off. So you have it tied. Well, you're going to have it tied. And then I laid down this, and you can trim that up after you're done if you need to. And your ribbon and your pine. And then I just tied it in a bow. Like I even have a piece of this left over. You can definitely do something with that if you want it to be if you want that to show more. I already tied mine down, but I can slide it under there. Well, I said I could, but I don't think I can. I think I messed it up. But you can slide that under there. We'll board that. Just pull it tight, and then you could still use that. I added the bell, like a rusty bell, because I thought it looked cute. Now, see how that's covering that up? I'll move that down. Like, I get it all on there, and then I adjust it and move it down to where I need it and kind of twist it. And I put a little bit of hot glue under there if I want it to stay a certain place. So I'll trim these up because I don't want those to cover, you know, my wording and stuff. And I want to be able to leave that corner. So that's why I'll adjust it and get it all looking right. And I'll just add my bell and then glue in my little pine cones and stuff. But you can add berries or anything. And then I will definitely add rock candy glitter to it. I just haven't got that. And I want to use the new chunky. I haven't got to do that. So you guys, I snatched that up and it sold out really quick. And I'm debating on whether to order any more. I'm not sure if you all will want more or not. So I would put my I did put my pine cones and kind of put it there. But once those all get glittered up, it just looks really cute, don't you think? I keep forgetting that you're upside down. So that's how it all ends up. But with the glitter, it looks super pretty. And this looks stark because it really needs spattered. It needs spattered so bad. But I think it is really, really cute. I keep hesitating to glue that down, but I want to because I want to hold it up and show you. But I hope you thought it was fun. I think it is super fun. Let me bring it up. Then you're not having to see it upside down. So this is how it looks. Of course, this isn't all manipulated yet, but and we need to spatter it. But you can glue your stamp up there, and this is the back. Isn't that so cute with the sealing wax? It's so cute. So this is really stark, so the spattering really helps it as well. So you can tell like the spattering on it looks better. But that is that project. So it is, if you're just doing it straight or you're doing several at a time, it goes fairly quick because you can just batch it. And I haven't glued any of those in yet, but it's just really cute. So I'm going to hot glue that and kind of make sure that stays where I need it to stay. So what do you think? Do you like it? What am I going to sell them for? Gina, I don't know. Like, pricing is the hardest. Is that not the hardest thing? So my mom always helped me with that. I always tell you guys that story, and she would always ask me, Miss, how much do you want on this? And I'd be like, $15.95. And she'd always add $1 or $2 to it. She never, I don't know why she asked me, because she priced them however she wanted. But that was how Mom rolled about everything. She just kind of was like, so, anyway, I have my glue gun on. I will get those glued down. So, there it is again. That is the front. This is the back. So, what I'm going to do, I'll show you how I'm going to personalize it. So, of course, at a show, I would not. I would just write it out on tracing paper and then trace it, use graphite paper underneath and then just paint it. But my sister will just wing it because that's just how she is. I would write it on tracing paper first because I don't trust myself. Like when I'm doing it for someone, I would want. Although I'm saying this, and Tracy's probably cracking up because she came to the show a couple years ago and had my sister personalize this door hanger, and she spelled her name wrong. Oh gosh. Anyway, Jenny would just write it. But if you are if you are just offering them online or you're doing it for yourself and you aren't comfortable with your own handwriting, type it out. And I'll do this. Like, go into your Word or whatever you use, Canva, whatever you use, and type out like your last name. So I would write Councilman, and I would print it out on my paper, and I'd probably type it in a couple different sizes just to make sure, I get it right. And then I would use my graphite paper, trace it on here, and then paint it from that, or use a paint pen. You can do that if you're not comfortable with your own handwriting. So that is a really good option, and really fun. So anyway, thank you, Mary. I'm glad you like it. Oh, the Christmas cup. I started to go out and do that today because I need to do that outside. But I haven't. So I have that. And I have the truck book cover. It is in its little container. I put them in bins after I get them done, and it has some wood pieces that Mark already has cut for it. So that's really fun. I can't wait to show you that. So anyway, I have so many things and not enough time. So my back going out threw me and really set me back. I feel like I just lost Halloween and fall, and that really upset me. And then, I have to have that procedure next week. It's on Tuesday, and I'll be so glad when it's over with. But I had to have some pre-op testing before that. And then they found some stuff with my lungs, which scared me to death. And I heard from my doctor today. And right now, we're just going to kind of hold on it. But it scared me because, that's what my mom had, a lung condition. She never ever smoked or anything. I've never smoked. But it's like, and it just scared me. I know how it ended for my mom. I know what my mom went through. And her lungs just got to the point where they couldn't expand anymore. And so I didn't know I had anything on mine at all. And so I've just been so down. It just feels like I just roll from one thing to the next. So that was totally not even, I didn't think anything. Like, I just had to go for my pre-op testing and didn't think anything about it. But anyway, so I've got all this stuff to do, and I'm like, wow, I've got a show, and anyway, so I hope after my procedure Tuesday, I hope things really start rolling quicker, and I can devote more time and get more stuff done. So my show is November 1st. It's always the first Saturday of every November, and so I always feel like you get that little bit of leeway. Sometimes it might be, like, it depends on where that Saturday falls. So, like, sometimes the 1st of November might be Monday. So, the show is not till the end of that week. So you feel like you get a little bit of extra time. Well, this is November 1st is that first Saturday. So it's like we just have Halloween and the show. So I'm like, wow. Last year, my father-in-law just passed away. We were doing the funeral. That's how the printables all came in. And I needed something really quick. It was crazy, but they sold so good. So anyway, just there's just so much. So, but anyway, I was excited to share this with you. I hope that you like it. I hope that you just feel like it's fun and it's simple enough. Like, it's just simple enough that anyone can do it. So I hope you like it. But I will let you go. It's almost 10 o'clock. I didn't even know that. So, anyway, thank you, Susan. She said she liked oh, I haven't even scrolled. She said, like, what did you say? I think you said I like the little touches, the finishing touches. I read that and then I'm like, what did she say? Oh, you can spray it. You can matte spray it. Do it before you do the glitter, though, because it will kind of change your glitter. Thank you for the prayers. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. All That's a good idea, Kathy. She said, great gift for my mail carrier. That's a good idea. It's so cute. I think they are really going to be cute, though, tucked in some little arrangements. And I also have a big, it's a big, like a big mailbox. I got it in Amish country at a antique. Someone had it in their booth, and it's chippy and white, and it's big. It's like, I don't know. I had it on my porch at the other house, but it's yay big. But it's really cute if you set it under a tree. And like this would be so cute coming out of that, like with a package wrapped in craft wrap, and then this sticking out of that. That'd be really cute. So maybe a little bit of pine and stuff. I think that would be really fun. So I love decorating with that mailbox. So anyway, and at Easter I like to tuck a rabbit back in there. Like it's a rabbit I have, and he's kind of looks like he's snuggled in, so it's fun. So yeah, I think there's a lot you can do with that. So okay, let me see. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'll let you go, and I hope you enjoyed it. I just think it's fun, so I hope you do too. So thank you for joining me. I know Friday nights are super hard, and I know we went late. So anyway, I'd like to sit here and finish filling in my bridges. I might, but I need to also go down. I didn't even finish the kitchen. It's almost finished, but I didn't finish it. I haven't done biscuits. I haven't done like breakfast for supper for a long time. But Mark had mentioned last week, I think, about his mom made really good sausage and gravy, biscuits and gravy. And I haven't made it in a long time. But so I made biscuits, and I made biscuits for a while either. So I made biscuits and sausage and gravy, and then just eggs, but it was good. So I still have my iron skillet to get cleaned up. So I guess I better go down and do that. So I will let you go, and I'll hop on in a day. It'll either be tomorrow or Sunday, and I'll show you how I'm going to personalize that using like the tracing paper. And so I will see you later, and thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it.